Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Sinister Skater here, and welcome to another Overwatch in Black Ops 3 video. I have a Junkrat class set up for you today. It's pretty interesting because it's a weird class for Black Ops 3, and it calls for a completely different playstyle that you normally wouldn't find in any Call of Duty, but I find it really fun to use. Now, for those of you that are just finding this Overwatch in Black Ops 3 is a little series I'm doing where I'll take an Overwatch hero and then translate them into Black Ops 3 the best I can. I post a lot of Black Ops 3 on the channel, but I played the Overwatch beta and I absolutely fell in love with it. But for some reason, it just became a thing now where I'm just refusing to buy Overwatch until it goes on some sort of sale. I don't know why, but I'm making these Overwatch and Black Ops 3 videos as kind of a way of coping with my Overwatch drought going on right now. But it's as simple as that. So far I've done Tracer and Genji classes that were really fun to do, and I did those videos live, and usually I will do these Overwatch Black Ops 3 videos live, but the Junkrat class was special because the gameplay I wanted was pretty hard to get. And this series isn't about getting crazy gameplays, it's about having like some decent gameplays and having a lot of fun. But with this Junkrat class, I kind of needed to, well, I mean, you'll see when we talk about the class, so let's do that now. Just a note real quick, we have the one main Junkrat class gameplay on Rise, and I'm probably going to throw a couple other clips in there as well that, you know, demonstrate the class pretty well. But I'll prop the class up on the screen right now so you can catch a glimpse of it. But, you know, Junkrat in Overwatch is all about explosives and traps. He's very mobile, he's very lethal, but it's hard to aim his weapons because they're explosives, and it just results in a lot of blowing yourself up in the game, and that translates pretty well into Black Ops 3. So the class we have right here, first things first, the specialist is Battery with her War Machine, because Junkrat has like a rocket launcher, explosive launcher, that is pretty much the same thing as the War Machine, so that fits very well. But for my primary, which my primary is really secondary, we're using the L4 Siege, which, you know, like I said, he had the frag launcher that launches explosives, and the L4 Siege is a DLC launcher that shoots 4 rockets at a time if we have to reload, and it works pretty well as like your main gun that you're going to use to fire explosives at people, because it's like the only good explosive firing thing in Black Ops 3 right now besides like the War Machine, but that's a specialist weapon. If you don't have the L4 Siege, you could probably use the XM53, but you probably won't have as good of a time with that launcher. It's pretty bad. But he also has concussion mines in Overwatch, which are basically C4, so we're using the Danger Close wild card that gives us 2 C4s because they're pretty much the same thing. Junkrat also has some steel traps which trap enemies, you know, holds them down for a second and then damage them a little bit. So to mimic those, we're using shock charges in Black Ops 3. You know, you use them, they stun an enemy for a second, and we're rocking 2 of those. They work pretty well. And as for perks, we're using Overclock to get our War Machine faster. Scavenger, because we need ammo for the L4 Siege. You start with 4 rockets, but you can pick up the ammo off of the ground. You can also get more C4s and shock charges, and we're going to be using those over and over again. So it works pretty well. And then as with every Overwatch class so far, we're using Gung Ho and Perk 3, because in Overwatch you can run and shoot in the same time, and you need Gung Ho to do that in Black Ops 3. And with this class setup, we had 1 point left over, so I'm using the KRM shotgun because I felt that this was the only primary that really fit Junkrat. It's a pump action shotgun, just it kind of felt like a frag launcher even though it didn't shoot explosives. But we only used the KRM shotgun when we were out of explosives, and then, you know, we just shot people as well. But something I feel like would work better for this Junkrat class for your primary, you could use the Banshee shotgun, which is this energy non-hit scan shotgun, except I don't have it. It's a DLC weapon, but I feel like since it's non-hit scan, it would kind of feel even more Junkrat-y. If you have that, you could use that. But you know, how you use this class is pretty much you start off with the L4 Siege, use that as much as possible, use your C4s as much as possible, and then you use your KRM when you're out of explosives. You can pick a couple people off if you're in a sticky situation, get some more scavenge packs, and then you can go blow some more people up. up. But the fun thing is that using the C4 and shock charges like at the same time, like you throw a shock charge at someone to stun them, so then you can shoot them with the L4 Siege easily. You can throw a C4 at them and blow them up, or you can toss a C4 around the corner, then slide away, and then blow it up with your remote detonation. And it's just like a really mobile class. You can slide in with the shotgun and shoot people. You jump in the air to shoot with the L4 Siege, because that's the best way. You jump up in the air and shoot at the ground, or you can cross map someone because it's pretty accurate across the map. But you're just, you're tossing C4 left and right, throwing all these shock charges, reloading, kind of like playing tactically with all these different explosives. And it's really fun because, again, you're always weaving in and out of things. You usually don't do this in Black Ops 3. That's why I find it really fun to do. Now, the last fun thing about this Junkrat class is the Scorestreaks. Now, Junkrat's ultimate is the RIP tire, which is this remote controllable tire that explodes. And what does that sound like? It sounds like some raps. So that's what was really hard about getting this class setup videos. I really wanted to get raps for the gameplay because it fits Junkrat so well. But it's really hard to get, the raps, what 1100 points in score when you're using a launcher for most of the time and explosives. That's why this episode isn't live, because it took like 2 to 3 weeks of playing here and there with this class to try and get the raps, which was pretty insane. But raps are like his ultimate, and then like for the other Scorestreaks, you're using some remote controllable stuff because the RIP tire is remote control. Or you control it like it's remote control. So we're rocking the HCXD and the Dart as my other Scorestreaks, because those are some remote control drones. And then they're explosives, so you're always using explosives, and you have these drones. It's really fun to use overall. But that's the Junkrat class. Like I said, fun to use because it calls for a different type of gameplay style that you normally won't see in Black Ops 3. So I definitely recommend that you try it out because it's a nice experience. But if you guys have any suggestions to improve the Junkrat class or to make it more Junkrat-like, feel free to share those down below in the comments. And also, I've done Tracer so far, I've done Genji, we just done Junkrat. I have a Reaper class and a Hanzo class ready to go for the future. But if you guys have any other class ideas for other Overwatch characters, even if they're Hanzo and Reaper, feel free to share them down below in the comments. And then, next Overwatch and Black Ops 3 video, you might just see me using your class. But that's that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, subscribe for future Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gaming content if you aren't already. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. And as always, guys, I'm Sinister Skater, and this wouldn't be an Overwatch and Black Ops 3 video if there wasn't a play of the game. So check this out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.